Previously on the Novympia channel. Anything from the Cher's?
And coming up...
I'm going to cut this bit of footage, I don't want it in there.
I find you very rude.
The Novympia channel is made possible thanks to our gorgeous patrons who get access to exclusive garbo. And thank you to Sailey for sponsoring this video. Do the snafu! Willkommen auf dem neues Novympia Visual Treat mit dem kleines bitch.
I like the idea that Olympia is an Australian who likes to pretend to be German sometimes. Like, there's layers to this now.
I just love the idea that I know, like, 2 sentences in German.
And boy, will you use them.
And, no, but that's not, what I said probably wasn't correct. And also, like, I think my pronunciation's pretty good. So,
Okay.
like, I just love starting a video. It's a bit of a curveball, Nova. Hello there. This is Nova, is what her name really is. And I'm Olympia. And welcome to this
I would like to spank
Shay.
Welcome to this shaves.
Touche.
Oh, no, we're not doing touche. No one understands touche. There was a comment on Facebook, wasn't it?
And they meant to say touche, and they wrote it out T-O space S-H-Y. So now us and Shah will often say to each other,
For years. It's like, touche. I know you got my letters.
I wrote you, but you still ain't calling.
This is ridiculous.
What are we doing today then?
Oh, it's a shaves and fritters.
That's not correct.
Would you like to shave me?
I have done.
You have done, and will do again. Today, I'm full of the vigour of spring.
Oh.
Because
It's only February.
we were getting ready a bit earlier today and the sun was out. Well, not
It was.
really, but it was like light, because usually we're just like bats in a cave, aren't we? But I'm full of the vigour of
We've
spring.
seen a bit of daylight today.
Also, I'm a woman today. Look at that. Look at the state.
The neckline's crap, the arms are crap, the length of it's crap, the material's
shocking.
rubbish.
But I will say once again, though, this dress is so large.
Oh no, is it?
I'm swimming in it.
Gosh, well, if you would stop buying dresses that are too big for you, then you wouldn't have that problem
I'm
with you.
swimming. Now, before we get on with the faves and the shavers,
Okay.
which, by the way, is just our take on Oprah's favourite things, where we talk about 3 things that we love.
And 3 things that are just a bit pooey.
Before we get on to that, there's going to be a really natural segue into the sponsored segment, which will probably be here then.
You goddamn professional.
Now listen, before we start officially today, we need to talk about something that has entered into our lives, Nova, that absolutely saved the day the last time we were in Switzerland. Do you remember?
Oh my god, so much so. It's the sponsor of today's video, Sailey.
What is Sailey? I hear you cry. Well, first of all, don't shout.
So Sailey is a worldwide eSIM app where you can choose from a huge range of affordable eSIM plans in over 180 countries.
Okay, so here's the deal. If you are on holiday, if you find yourself in a different country on business or just having fun, what have you, and you land on the tarmac and your phone all of a sudden is just like, oh, we're going to switch you to Vodafone Greece, and it's going to be like £90 for half a text message.
Also, like, especially travelling in the EU, I always just assume that it's going to be absolutely fine. But there's always these countries that aren't covered by your plan. It's such a nightmare.
And then you try and download like a naughty image, and it takes hours because it's really pixely.
Naughty image.
Cut this bit. Well, if that sounds familiar, then Sailey has you covered.
The last time we were in Switzerland, I picked up a Sailey plan and saved a bundle on local calls when Olympia messed up our taxi service and I had to stay on the line with a car service for about 20 minutes.
Oh, but the Zurich airport makes no sense. I'm sorry. But I ordered it to where I assumed we'd get it from, the street.
It's like...
Who goes upstairs to get out?
It is
Who does
confusing.
that? Zurich. Lovely airport though. God, it's so clean.
And I didn't have to worry about running up my phone bill and running out of data.
You simply download the app, select a plan, and you're away. You only need to do it once. You don't need a new eSIM between different countries. It's literally so straightforward. Even I can do it. I do have something in the faves today about it's technology related. I'm incensed. No, it's not. It's not a good one.
Oh, of course not.
But I can't swear during the sponsored segment.
You can set it up ahead of time so there's no fussing about at the airport, no trying to dodge scammers trying to flog your SIM cards.
And Sailey have 24/7 support. So for followers of the Novympia cult lifestyle,
You can get an exclusive 15% discount on Sailey eSIM data plans. Simply download the Sailey app and use our code Novympia at the checkout.
and thank you so much to Sailey for sponsoring this video.
These nails are a bit long for me.
Oh, they're a good shape for you, though. Usually your nails are awful.
I think they're a bit like... they're a bit claw-like.
Mine are very sweet.
Are you wearing press-on nails?
Why wouldn't I?
You never wear press-on nails.
I literally always wear nails. And I'm going to start with my first fave.
Okay.
Because people go a bit insane when I don't start. And I have a backup in case I'm not allowed to use this one.
Why would you not be allowed?
So my first fave...
Oh, I don't think I have the strength.
What is this?
Am I allowed to say this? There's an explanation. I can say that.
I don't know.
Well, there's an explanation.
I feel like the verb is like okay.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were going to use it as like a noun, that's like not okay.
No. My first fave is the expression lesing off.
Oh, I thought you meant like the act was going to be your fave, not just the
Well, I've never done that.
expression.
You have to be a lesbian to les off.
No, but maybe you like to watch it.
Okay, story time now because I was crying. So, lesing off. Oh, I love it. I'm full of the vigour of spring.
For God's sake.
I was walking to the post office the other day. I'm always doing errands. And on the way back, I walked past two schoolgirls. They were in like blazers and ties. And they must have been about 14 thereabouts. And you remember that Vine where it was, and they were roommates?
Yeah.
And they were roommates.
Oh my God, they were roommates.
The only part of the conversation I got was one girl gasping to the other. And she went, "Do you reckon they were lesing off?" And I grinned and I was like, we are still there. People are still saying it. That is the most British expression.
For God's sake.
I guess just more broadly, I'd like to expand this to the really quintessential Britishism of adding off to the end of something.
Just if you're having it off.
I sucked him off, lesed off. I love it. I love everything about it. Lesing off. I think it's so great.
It's
so
normally like
childish.
inappropriate, isn't it? I'm trying to think of like other things like
Yeah. Do something off.
beat off,
Oh, mind you though, jerk off. That's very American, isn't
jerk
it?
off,
But like lesing off, I think it's so great. I think that
fell off.
You fell off a long time ago. My
That's not really
friend
the same though, is it?
once was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and hang out with my sister in a bit. Like, what do I do if I walk in and her and her roommate are lesing off?" And I was like, has she done something to suggest that she would be doing that with the roommate? And she was like, no, but just like, what do you think I should do if I walk in on that?
This is also a bit like what would you do if?
What would you do if? Literally. But it was so out of left field and I was like,
I would like to see it.
but are they lesbian? Would they be lesing off? And he was just like, well, probably not. And I was like, I don't think we need to answer the question then. It just seems so bizarre.
Not really a conversation that needs
But
to
it's
happen,
so
is it?
childish and I loved it. Everything about it. Lesing off. I think it's so great.
What nonsense are you saying?
I love everything about the expression. I hope it sticks around for a long time.
Okay.
And Nova, let's move on to your fave.
That was a strange one for you.
Oh, I was so excited
Strange
about it.
energy in the
When she
studio
was just
today.
like, no, it's great. I'm full of the vigour of spring.
Somebody in the audience just said stop saying it.
His nails come off, but it's fine.
My first fave, I don't actually have here, but we'll put in. Am I going?
It won't be as good as my one. Lesing off. What's your question? You can carry on.
Okay. We went to a craft fair on Saturday in Bournemouth Pavilion, and I felt like we bought a lot of stuff. Like, it wasn't huge, but we were really impressed by the stalls and the makers that were there. We went with Megan and Kat. And we made a purchase. These adorable battery-powered, like, mushroom lights.
I was hoping it would be this. I love these. I screamed.
The stall had, like, all different shapes and sizes. They were all different. And it looks like, I think it's driftwood with a little battery pack hot glued on the back. And I think they must have drilled holes for LED lights. And these transparent plastic mushrooms. And it looks like it's growing out this fake moss. They're really, really beautiful. and we haven't found a home for them yet. We bought 4 in different sizes. They were just a bit us, weren't they?
They were a bit of us.
You're a mess.
Kat also bought one. She bought like a larger one. But have you seen, they've just got like a tiny little hook. So just a nail,
Yeah.
and they don't weigh anything.
So we approached this and I was like,
Does this cover it?
okay, I know for a fact, there's not going to be any discussion. I know we're going to buy a bunch of those. So I was like, Novi, you need to come here now because a purchase is about to happen. Because we are, we have a gluttonous desire for plastic shit, as you'll be well aware.
Spoiler alert for next week's video.
I said to Kat, listen, I think you're going to want one of these. So you choose first. Because she was like, I only want one. I was like, in which case, you choose first. You can have first dibs. Because we're going to get 4 and arrange them in such a way that like the living room looks a bit like from Avatar. It's a bit Avatar.
Yeah.
It's a little bit Avatar.
Oh, shit.
Like a
And I just love it. Like a fairy Glenda.
Anywhere nice?
Somebody in the audience just said stop saying it.
So I'm very happy that we've made that purchase. Yes, we're having a games night on Saturday, so
Yeah.
it'll be up before then.
I've just
it's just
never
knowing
seen-
the perfect place for them.
I've never seen anything like this before, and I thought it was so unique. So I was really happy to find this independent crafter.
Charlatan.
But excellent work, really good work. Love this. Do more, please.
I hope as well that she does sell them online and go and buy some of these because they're so great.
Do you know what else I would really like? I want exactly the same thing, but instead of mushrooms, they're all plastic crystals.
Oh, I don't want that. That's
crystals.
gross. That's gross.
Great. I want that as well, please. So consider
Tacky
that.
shit. It's the shitters, isn't it?
Yes, your first shitter. Are you doing this tech one?
Yeah, I'm going to get it out of the way because
Oh,
I
God,
am.
here we go.
I am.
Grandma needs to
beside
get something
myself.
off her chest.
I am beside. I am incensed.
And it's a big chest as well.
And get ready to bleep this.
Get ready to bleep this.
This is going to be a big bleeper. Get the bleeper out for this whole segment because I am incensed.
Shit.
As well as being a delight.
Okay.
There is this new thing called, and I haven't even bothered to check the name.
I don't care that you broke your elbow.
That's how much I hate it.
So I don't know what it's
It's
called.
called
then.
Google Helper Assist. Google Helper Assist.
I don't know what this
and
is.
I don't mean to be hypocritical because I'm aware that I always shit on Nova for talking about K-pop or talking about AI or whatever it is. And this does involve a bit of AI. But I am sick to the back lower left tits of having every part of your life invaded by AI. I'm sick of it. Sick to death, no vagines. Don't you dead name me. So it's this new thing called Google Helper Assist. You're going to agree with me on this. So on my laptop here, you can see there.
Yeah.
So in the top right corner, I get notifications come through from like YouTube comments. They'll
So
come up.
this is Chrome that is
This is
doing
Chrome. This is Chrome.
Right.
So
On
I'll
Mac.
get notifications come up, and it's for YouTube comments, or if someone sent me a message on WhatsApp, it comes up there. But there's this new thing that they installed without my knowledge, like U2's album that one time. I didn't ask for this, called Google Help Assistant Help Bum. I don't know what it's called. Where, get this,
I've been trying to get it for the past 10 minutes.
an AI summary of the comment or message in question. So essentially now, the message comes up, but it's only there for a second. It literally gets swiped away without me doing it. And it gets replaced with AI slop text that's like a summary of the message. So for example, don't interrupt me, no vagines.
You stop calling me that.
Stop calling her that. It's not her name. This isn't about you at the moment. I'm incensed.
I will scream, I will sing!
I had a message from Rolly, you might be aware of him, and he sent through a message on WhatsApp and he was like, oh yeah, I've just heard, I don't know, it was a Eurovision song, it might have been Poland's, I can't remember. And he was like, I don't think it's like terrible, but it's a bit like shouty in places. And I saw it come up, but then it got f***ed off, it went away, and it got replaced with Google Helper Assist. Oh, you've received a message from Rolly and he'd like to let you know that this song isn't really for him and he's used the word shouty, so...
The latest iOS has this feature and it's an Apple feature and you use Apple products. So I was
Google
just
Helper
wondering,
Assist.
because this happens on my phone now as well, the new iOS update. It happens with iPhones.
Right. No,
And it's not the
This
same-
isn't the point. This isn't the point.
It's not the same brand, but
This
it's the
isn't the
same
point.
product, it sounds
This
like.
is not the point. This is not the point.
There's a difference.
The point is, I don't know why these arrogant f***ing people think that I would rather have them reword a message that's been sent to me. Why in any context is it going to be better to take my message that I'd just like to read the message, but you're going to reword it for me because you think you can do a better version of the message? Do you know what's even worse than that, Nova? We had a comment on the Pointless video from someone that lives in Luxembourg, because do you remember Luxembourg City?
Yes.
Glenda gave us an answer. A capital city within 2,000 miles of London.
What's Bruges?
Someone commented and said, I feel seen because I live in Luxembourg. You guys should really come to Luxembourg because we have free public transport.
Yes.
Do you remember reading that? Yeah. Free buses, trams, whatever. And I was like, oh my God, that's kind of cool. But then again, the message left and it was replaced with, you've received a message about Luxembourg from someone who wants to tell you all about Luxembourgish restrooms. It's not even accurate. Like, it's not even accurate.
Just stop it!
I was incensed.
So I think this technology has a place if you have
Lost your mind.
like you've had your phone off because you've been working or you've been away from your phone for several hours and you've missed, say, a minimum of like 7 messages in the same chat. I think a little summary of what you've missed before you go and read each message could be quite useful. To do this for every single individual message, I think is just another case of these tech companies doing stuff with AI for the sake of it because they can. I don't think that's necessary. I don't think it's useful. Sometimes when we finish filming or finish streaming, we'll go to our group chat of Rolly and Luxaria and it will say like 72 missed messages and I'll be like, oh my God, let me catch up.
This is also a message to Rolly Luxaria. Stop messaging us.
Sugar in my arse. I was
No, Nova, I'm sorry, but that's my shitter. We're moving on because I'm incensed and no longer full of the vigour of spring. Google help or assist. It's probably not even called that if we're being honest.
Okay, this is a weird one. I think this probably still is the biggest Lady Gaga fan site. No, bear with me, because this is like a conspiracy thing. This is like possibly a bit true crimey. The biggest Lady Gaga fan site is called Gaga Daily. Easily the biggest one. It's been acknowledged by Lady Gaga several times. She infamously went into the forums of it under the pseudonym Boris and leaked her own music once and then got banned from the forums because they didn't realise it was her. They thought it was someone actually leaking her music. It was
embarrassing for them.
Mysteriously, I would say almost a year ago, like to the day, maybe like a few days, they stopped posting and the owner of the site just went AWOL, like completely disappeared. And nobody really knows what happened to them. There were a lot of conspiracy theories because sadly they are Russian and people wondered if something had happened because Russia is so anti-LGBT. Maybe there was some arrest made, maybe there was something really horrific happened to them. So everybody, like in the meantime, has been really wishing that this person is okay, that they're safe. There's been rumours that they've been arrested, there's been rumours that they've been murdered. But in the meantime, the moderators have kept the forums open. But all other social media has been dormant for about a year. The other day, their Instagram popped up with a post that said, "We're back," and the caption read, "We have no new information on the former owner of Gaga Daily, but we have been able to recover this account and will be posting more in due time." So immediately the reactions were really, really mixed as they were like, who are you?
Who are you?
First of all, to post on behalf of this fan site, this like beloved person, you've not provided any information as to where they are or what they're doing or if they're safe and well. This seems shady as And then very quickly, the forum moderators went onto Twitter to say that they have no idea who this is. This is not the original owners. This is nobody endorsed by the original owners. It looks like this account has been compromised. So do not engage with it. And I just thought that was like really sad because we still don't know where this person is. They've done such amazing things like for the Lady Gaga fandom community, and it's just sad to think that there's someone who could potentially be in like a vulnerable position or not safe or not well or something, and there's this shitty person just trying to take advantage of like the following they built up. I'm hoping we find out more information. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if anybody is in contact with the original owner. I don't know if we'll ever know.
But why are you going on Gaga Daily like a 12-year-old? What's that? How are you even aware of this, Nova?
Because they're the #1 fan site.
But what are you going on a fan site for, like a child?
Oh my god, I follow fan sites for loads of people. Like I follow Cat's Eye News. They're a really good one. Shout out Cat's Eye News.
You're so lovely.
People know in the comments. People know about Gaga Daily. Weird, nefarious. Don't know what's going on
Is there a Novympia Daily? Someone should run that, shouldn't they? Why is someone not running that for us?
I think you know the answer to that, don't you?
But yeah, shitter. Stolen, compromised
Well, that's
account.
sad.
What's going on?
You've
Is
really
this
brought
person
down the
okay?
tone. That's just depressing, isn't it?
Wow.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
Well, nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing I can do.
Get your magnifying glass out and do some reading. Yeah, do some research.
Like Latoya Jackson me.
Yeah, do something about it, you lazy, sit around and moan. Do something. My next fave is, anything from the Cher, sir?
for God's
No,
sake.
it's not really.
Whether I'm right or wrong.
It's not really, but I haven't decided what to do yet.
The
but it's
amount of people that asked
love
us
it.
to put Janice Pepper on that, she's too big.
She's twice the size of it.
She is too big.
She's too fat for it.
My next fave. I'm actually not even entirely sure what it is, but they're
Great start.
they're Australian programs called Under Investigation with Liz Hayes. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Under Investigation.
I'm Liz Hayes.
They're part of, I think, 60 Minutes Australia. So do you know what
Right.
60 Minutes is?
Yeah.
So 60 Minutes is like a current affairs program, and there's different sort of iterations of it
They upload on
internationally.
YouTube all the time.
Yeah. And I think 60 Minutes Australia is really great. So if you love true crime, it's usually like an hour, 40 minutes to an hour sort of documentary type current affairs pieces
They
about...
are really good. I've only watched maybe a handful of them, but they are really
They're
good.
so great. So they're about like missing people or true crime. If you're into any of that shit, look at 60 Minutes Australia on YouTube because they upload everything. My faves are Liz Hayes and Tara Brown.
And for 60 Minutes Australia, I'm Tara Brown.
I'm
course.
obsessed with Tara Brown. But anyway, the whole thing fell off Nova.
Just for a moment, put yourself in their shoes. It's all a lie, a great big lie. They're now trying to protect other children because no one should go through the hell they've suffered.
Liz Hayes is a journalist and she does her own segment, which I don't know if it's like an offshoot of 60 Minutes or if it's its own individual program, but it's called Under Investigation. And she will get into the investigation room. I mean, it's so camp. And she'll sit with experts at a panel and they'll break down information about like a missing person, for example. I watched one about a boat called the Patinella.
The Patinella.
Which is fascinating. I did a podcast about it over on Patreon, my solo podcast, about the ghost ship of Sydney Harbour.
The famous Patinella lying at the bottom of the sea or somehow, somewhere.
I love that it's so produced because there'll be an expert in another country sort of like Skyping in, but you know it's just pre-recorded footage. So she's sitting there just looking at a blank screen going, and tell me, doctor, how fat was she? It's just so great. It's so camp. It's the most Australian thing in the world. 60 Minutes did a whole bit about Melissa Caddick. Oh my God, the woman. Get this, she had a Ponzi scheme. Huge Ponzi scheme. She ripped off all her friends. Then she disappeared. And then like a year later, people found her foot.
Oh my God, we hit a boat!
And people were like, did she cut it off to like fake her disappearance? Or did she jump into the sea? Oh, it's this huge thing.
I mean, have they spoken to Dita Janks?
Get into it. What?
If you would like to learn how to windsurf,
If you're watching, Liz, I know you're a fan, I'd like to just say thank you for producing Under Investigation with Liz Hayes. Because I love it. It's so great.
And this is Under Investigation.
Where have they gone? They've gone missing.
My next fave is a podcast episode of a show that I've never seen before called We Need to Talk with Paul C. Brunson. This is an episode featuring Cher Lloyd by Cher Lloyd.
Cher Lloyd by Cher Lloyd.
I don't know who Paul C. Brunson is, but he's very, very lovely to look at. He did this interview with Cher Lloyd, and for people who don't know who Cher Lloyd is, she was an X Factor finalist in the UK well over 10 years ago now, and she was 16 at the time. I think she got top 5 or top 3 even. Like, she was very, very far, and it was the season with One Direction, so like it had a lot of eyes on it, and she was very, very young. Tabloids ran all kinds of stories about her, made her out to be this like nasty brat, this self-centered bitch, and she did eventually have a music career, actually made it in the States, had a few hits in the States.
Her most famous song is probably Cher Lloyd by Cher Lloyd. Rebecca G, all 3.
Rebecca G, right?
She's the person that sang that song in that meme.
And don't forget all the trouble we got into.
But she's now grown up.
And don't forget all the trouble we got into.
And she's an adult. And this, I think, is the first interview she's done in a very, very long time. And it's really interesting to see her talk so frankly about her whole life. So they talk about like her childhood and her upbringing. They talk about how she's a member of like the gypsy community and what that was like to grow up with, and how horrible Simon Cowell is.
You're allowed to say gypsy, are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Would you like to risk the £32,000 question on that?
That's fine.
He doesn't sound like he's worried.
She said to herself, she said, I consider myself a traveller, gypsy, Roma. She's all these things.
All right.
I think she's half, which is also very interesting, because those communities don't often marry outside of the community. So that was a very interesting dynamic. Anyway, you should watch it and listen to her. I came away watching this having such a newfound respect for the girl. I think she has been through so much. A lot of people would not come out the other end of it as sane as she has. There was one story in particular that I thought was wild, where she was in America talking to her record label, and she was asking why they weren't promoting her new single, like, we need a budget to promote this album. And they said to her,
what I needed to do to make this record take off is hit some of the clubs, and they'll find out where Bieber is. They weren't going to spend any money on the album, but I was to go hook up with someone mega famous and basically leech off the back of someone else's fame.
All the while, whilst her husband was in the same room during this meeting, like just listening to this, and they just didn't care. Insane little anecdotes from like the music industry.
She comes across very, very well, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's very composed, and she's coming out with all this hideous shit.
Very, very humble, quite
very likable.
And quite a shy person, which if you grew up in the UK when X Factor was on her season, really the opposite of how she was presented in the media.
But she was like 16, she was very bratty, she released that f***ing hideous song.
Swagger Jagger.
You can't stop looking at me!
I'm laughing all the way on the floor.
So my faves, I guess, are her in this podcast, because she comes across really well and she's put out so many music and it's really good. And also the host, I thought, was so thoughtful and caring, and he asked some really, really interesting questions, but very sensitively. And I just feel like I would open up and tell him anything he ever wanted from me if he just asked. It was a really nice interview, really nice conversation.
He's no Mike Brady from Ocean Liner Designs.
Lois, my darling!
Okay, that was lovely. Cher Lloyd by Cher Lloyd. Or if we make a G-rate, we'll forget all the trouble we got. And why does somebody not know how to flush the toilet after they've had their shit?
Wasn't me.
What's f***ing one of yous?
Disgusting!
Okay, that bit's done, isn't it? That bit's done.
It's done now, yeah.
Look at this, what do you think about that? Oh. You can't stop looking at me!
I'm laughing all the way on the floor.
My next fave. No, what are we on? Shitter.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm incensed by this. Incensed. People
You're incensed.
no longer
You're
have...
filled with the vigour of spring.
Well, I might not be. People no longer have any etiquette when driving. Driving etiquette f***s me off no end.
Blow it out your ass!
This comes in like two sort of forms, I think. This happens all the time. I think mostly when you're like pulling over to let someone pass you, I'm gonna need, and by the way, Nova, it is literally just a hand gesture to just say thank you so much.
It is.
I appreciate you've done that.
You've just hit the microphone.
No, I haven't. And I don't appreciate you.
Well, you have.
I appreciate that you've pulled over, thank you. It is literally just like second nature. You're barely even moving.
I agree.
But it's always, and I've done my market research, people who own giant Range Rovers, Land Rovers, expensive cars, if you will. Rich people who will not thank you for pulling over because they obviously, what? Think they f***ing own everything. I mean, they do. But that's not the point. It's rude and it's obnoxious. And I start shouting, don't I?
It's not worth shouting.
I shout because it's rude. I say, you're f***ing welcome, piece of shit. Also, I like to do this every single time I go out for a drive. I have to let at least one person out during this journey. Otherwise, it's selfish. You have to let someone out. Like if you're in a line of traffic and someone's waiting to pull out, it's no like bother to me.
Can you not say pull out on the channel,
It's no bother to me, Nova. Stop bringing down the tone. That's childish and immature and I won't stand for it.
Do you understand me?
We were coming out of a car park yesterday in a busy industrial, like a retail park, and it was really, really busy and there was a bit of a bottleneck bottleneck situation. I had been sitting at this junction with these cars crawling past me and my indicator was on, and it was like 2 cars had gone by.
It was
and there was a slight gap, and I was like, this is my chance. I'm going to edge in here because like I have to get out. No, yes, I've said edge. I've said edge, all right. Grow up, Nova. I can't get to the end of my comment. And this woman in this red Laguna literally just pulls up and parks right in front of me. And I was like, no, she's not going to do that. So I started to do it a little bit more and a little bit more. And she literally just plonked her car in front of me and she kept looking at me. And her hair was unkempt. Her hair was so
Look at her hair.
Look at her hair.
Oh, look at her hair.
It was so unkempt, and she was like this disgusting woman, wasn't she? You would have 1 car in front of you. Like, that's not going to stop you from getting to your destination. Let people in. I don't know how to tell you should care about other people. What was that thing I saw on Twitter? It was someone being like, I'm sorry, but, you know, being a good, decent person, there's no benefits to it in life. And someone retweeted it with like, you don't do it for the benefits.
That's not romantic!
Well, sometimes you do it for the benefits.
Nova.
Well, I'm saying, like, I don't agree with the initial statement. Like, there are benefits to it.
Nova, shut up. My point is, if you're going to go out on the road, you don't own it. There's other people. Have a bit of consideration. I hate drivers.
See, I can't become a driver then because I don't want you to hate me.
Well, I won't care if you're driving me and I'm in the car. We're not doing dodgems.
Oh, right. Wow.
I'm no longer full of the vigour of spring. I do it like a woman, though.
Okay, so my next one, I've written here, people spouting vile shit on the internet about reality show contestants. The traitors.
Haven't we done this before?
This is nothing new. Oh God, with so many things on social media at the moment, we are really regressing in terms of how we conduct ourselves on social media, how we behave. I feel like there was a real period of time in like the late noughties where there was a bit of a push to be kind, #be kind, and to be aware that like the person you're speaking to online is a real person and just have a breather. There was a real like effort to
but people don't mean
stop being an arsehole.
People don't mean it, do they?
On the internet. And that has just gone so far out the window. I've seen some of the most disgusting, venomous shit on the internet targeted towards people that have been on reality TV shows. And it's just a TV show. These people are out here and they're giving you entertainment that you are consuming. Maybe you didn't like something that they did, but a lot of these shows need like a villain character. A lot of these shows need an idiot. Like, they're all integral parts of what makes the cast on these shows entertaining and work. And these are real people, and it's not that serious. I'm thinking specifically, but this happens a lot to drag races. People are horrible to drag races. But more recently on the Traitors UK, there was a contestant called Leanne who ended up getting a lot further than people would like. You think she shot someone on national television? The way people reacted to it. And I was thinking to myself, oh my God, like, I get that someone might not like her. I totally understand she did some stuff that might rub people the wrong way. But like, you're still thinking about this the next day.
Nah,
like,
but she's an evil though. Oh
my God, go outside, have a deep breath, touch the grass.
The funny thing about the Traitors is that people get angry on social media for people playing the game. Also, you have to really consider that with that show in particular, good gameplay does not get rewarded. If you are very good at the game, people spot it and you get eliminated.
I also think
it pays to be a bit shit. But you know, I feel like if you're the kind of person that doesn't appreciate that a reality show is produced, and it's not reality, is it? It's not really reality, it's very, very produced. If you can't appreciate that because you're a few tits short of an udder, that's why you then feel like you have, I don't know, authority to go on social media and be cruel, because you're a bit thick in the head, a bit stupid.
Unless somebody is literally...
What's not clicking? Turn it on!
Outing themselves as a Nazi on one of these shows. Unless somebody is using slurs or like actually being a horrible person, I think like let's just tone it down and have some decorum.
Say to Steve.
It's pretty bleak, but this has been going on since time immemorial, Nova, and people are unhappy with their lives, so have to shit on other people. Oh, we're doing mean comments next week, aren't we? Mean comments,
Yes.
so that'll be interesting. My next fave, chocolate raisins.
Oh God, okay.
Now listen, Nova, you will know good and goddamn well that I'm not like a huge chocolate person.
Aren't chocolate raisins often sold as like various types of animal poop?
Yes,
like
they
at
are.
Christmas, they're sold as like reindeer poop.
Reindeer poop, and at Christmas as well. Yeah, weirdly enough, I was gifted some chocolate raisins under the guise of dinosaur poop, which was very sweet. I like a square of chocolate. If I have 2 squares, then my throat gets scratchy and irritated.
Right.
And I find it very, very sickly. It's very, very
dark chocolate.
I used to love dark chocolate, but I'm not really even a fan of that anymore. I certainly won't eat white chocolate. I'm just not really a huge fan of it. Like, yeah, sure. Oh, it came off completely now. I'll just do... Does that look natural?
Very unelegant.
It's probably inelegant, Nova. But, do you know, and I will tell you, Nova, there is something about the divine combination of a raisin and a chocolate that I think is really great. There's something about it which is so utterly Moorish. Also, they're tiny as well, so you can have like a little handful and it's like naughty.
Have you ever had yogurt covered raisins?
Yes, and
they're good.
They are good, but that I don't care for That's interesting, isn't it?
Kind of playing it fast and loose with the word interesting.
Weirdly enough, my next fave involves yogurt and
So
raisins.
maybe
or
we
next
should just
shitter.
be...
God, I'm really thrown... No, hang on. Oh.
God, your brain has really been upset by the
I don't
concept of yogurt
understand
covered
why
raisins.
you had to ruin my flow there. You ruined it.
I just remember that used to be like a healthy snack when I was at school, would be like yogurt covered raisins.
Yogurt covered anything is pretty good. Yogurt is so underrated, just as a food item, isn't it? Chocolate raisins, oh, they're a real treat. Do you remember, was it like, what was that yogurt where it was like a corner and there were chocolate covered raisins and you'd put them in? Was it the banana one? No.
Sounds familiar.
The banana one came with the little chocolate
flakes.
hoops.
Oh,
yeah, it did come with the flakes. One of them came
The
with
hoops
hoops.
was like toffee flavoured.
Oh, that's right. One of them had chocolate covered raisins, I'm sure of it. Chocolate covered raisins, they're a real treat. So if you'd like to send me some, I'm not going to say no or anything.
Okay.
You're
just begging now, are we?
No, you're not begging at all.
Please, sir.
Look at my drinker, that's disgusting.
Oh my God, your
Look at that.
lipstick.
Yeah, but look at it.
You don't want to look at it, it looks like poo. So my last fave...
Oh, here we go.
...is a song.
Jesus Christ.
There is a fairly new British girl group called Say Now. They've got a few songs under their belt, all great. Their latest song is called Don't Text, Don't Call. And I'm obsessed with this. I've been playing this a bit recently. The last 2 singles had music videos, and this one has what they're calling like a MacBook music video. And it's very cute. It's like a whole bunch of different shots of them, like they're getting ready in the mirror, or like it's a sleepover, and it's like done on a MacBook camera. And I get it, it's cute, but to me it is a little bit like, oh, is this the label's way of being like, you need to start making some numbers or we're going to not be spending more money on these videos and these singles? That's kind of what it's reading to me. So I really want you guys to support them because they're really, really good.
No!
And I feel like a great option for the UK for Eurovision, maybe. We know it's not them, but like when the rumour was that it was a girl group, a great little option.
A huge person.
But I love girl groups. Very... Cheryl.
Do they deserve higher than Blackpink?
No.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
No, they don't. It's just so stupid. Right.
I like that we are getting a new generation of girl groups, but it does mean that they can't all make it big. So I'm waiting to see who kind of rises to the top and who fades away. I think Flow have been doing really well, but they haven't yet had like a massive breakout hit yet. They need like a big mainstream.
I have no idea
breakout
who
hit.
you're talking about.
Flow?
No. Girls Can't Catch or whatever you said. Girls.
Say Now.
Oh. Girls Can't Catch. Is that...
So they did not rise to the top.
God.
Is that Echo one?
Yeah.
Oh, well, ignore that. I'm going to cut this bit of footage. I don't want it in there. Girls... What's it called? Say Girls.
Say Now.
Well, why don't I know what that is?
I don't know.
Well, if you play it all the time.
Yeah, it's
Why
all
has
that
it
goes, don't text, don't call, don't da-da-da-da. That one.
That sounds shocking.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Well, no wonder no one
Ice cold. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I wouldn't follow him then. That sounds terrible.
They're really good. I want nothing but the best for them. I urge you to check them out. I think they're really cool. And this song I've had on a lot since it came out. I really like it.
Are we moving on to Shitter? It's the final Shitters, Nova.
Final Shitter.
Okay,
It's the final Shitter.
Diddle-oo-doo. Stop.
You keep hitting this microphone.
You keep turning me on. My last Shitter are these f***ing things. They taste like shit. I appreciate.
Cover this in yogurt.
Okay, no, that.
And
I feel. No. No way have you just said that. Go Ahead Fruit Slices Forest Fruits. I appreciate these are a low calorie option, but that's not entirely the reason I bought these, because when I was a teenager,
Sicily, 1912.
again, my mother was real f***ing stingy when it came to the supermarket. She would only get us ever low calorie shit. She'd never get us a good shit. It was always this kind of shit. But there's a version of this from Go Ahead, and they're these like crackers almost, with like raisins inside, but it's forest fruit raisins, dried fruit.
Yeah.
But it's covered in a yogurt coating.
Yeah, they're really good.
And they're really good. So I was like, oh my God, I wonder if they still make those yogurt breaks or whatever they're called. Yogurt breaks? These are called Go Ahead Fruit Slices and they're shit. But
they're really dry without the yogurt.
They essentially have the cracker with the fruit. Maybe it'll be fine without the yogurt.
Really dry.
It's tasteless, it's sawdust, it's shit. I think Go Ahead should be embarrassed and ashamed of themselves that they would even market this. For that reason, I'm out.
I'm out.
I still like girls.
I mean, they have been selling these for decades.
Yeah, but they're shit. I wanted them with the yogurt on, but
Then
they
you should have bought the ones
They
with the
didn't
yogurt.
have them in the supermarket. You have to listen.
Well, how can you complain?
Stupid fat bitch.
How can you complain when you knowingly bought something that you didn't want?
No, because I like though. I used to listen when I was like 15. I would suck on one of those yogurt breaks and watch Lost in my bedroom, and that was a real treat for me. So I was like, I'm going to try and recreate the last time I was happy with those yogurt breaks. And I was like, okay, well they've got them without the yogurt, but without the yogurt, it's just sawdust. And Go Ahead can suck my asshole. They're not going to sponsor us any time, are they? Go Ahead.
Certainly not after that performance.
Go Ahead. I think the not. Go home. You're.
Have you looked anywhere for the yogurt covered ones?
Well, I'm yeah.
Like online.
Yes, I'm sure they will still
Why don't you
exist.
just buy those then? Stop whinging.
Because I have to talk about how dreadful they are. Don't you understand the concept of the telly that we're doing? That's the point of the show. No, but you know what a calorie is?
It's a unit of energy.
Yeah.
Isn't it the amount of energy it takes to
Raise the temperature
of water by 1 degree
of
Celsius?
a centilitre of water by 1 degree centigrade.
Yeah, I would have got there eventually.
I'm available for quizzes.
This is another one where your eyes are going to glaze over.
No, for f***ing hell!
Are you familiar with the game Final Fantasy X?
I can't stop playing it.
Are you familiar with the card game Magic the Gathering?
Again, you know, I played it before we came in because she took so long. I was playing it.
So there is a collaboration at the moment with Magic the Gathering, which is a trading card game, which I don't play and know nothing about. And there is a Final Fantasy set. It's a bunch of Magic the Gathering cards with characters and artwork from Final Fantasy.
How much?
There is a character in Final Fantasy X, the lead character, called Tidus, and he has had a few iterations over the years since his first game came out. And it seems like the game publishers and the artists that draw him really have trouble getting his design consistent. And there seems to be a real issue with what his skin tone is. In the actual game, in the cutscenes, he looks like this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so quite a tanned, Asian-looking guy.
That's Taya Leone.
Who?
That's Taya Leone, isn't it?
Amanda, honey, Dr. Grant said that's a bad idea.
What?
That looks like Taya Leone.
I don't know who that is.
You will in a bit.
Asian looking guy with like very blonde hair. In the promotion for this collaboration, that is how he looked. So people were like, oh, okay, so they got his skin tone right. The actual card that comes out, white guy. He has so many iterations of himself where he's just been like whitewashed, where he just is so pale. Like whenever I see this online, I feel like the general rule with Tidus is that he needs to have a skin tone darker than his hair. And I think whenever it gets lighter, it looks off. A lot of people will argue that his concept art, he's light-skinned. But I would argue that people don't understand what concept art is. Like, concept art is to show a concept.
Proof of concept.
It's a proof of concept. Clearly, it got changed in the game because he's darker in the game. We're not looking towards concept art for source material. We want to see what his established presence, and he's much more dark-skinned. And it's just such a shame because he's such an interesting character and he's a really, really well-designed character, and people keep getting his skin tone wrong and it's so annoying.
He look like Taya Leone. She's white.
I don't know who that is.
She's like a white boy. Again though, Nova, perhaps just have interests that are a little more like your age. What? A little bit more your age bracket. That's for children, isn't it? I find that difficult to believe.
Magic the Gathering is way too complicated. I couldn't be willing to play that. That is not a game for kids.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming for this Faves and Shitters. Nova, I'm sorry, but we are really, really pushed for time. All your lights come on. Yeah, it's come on. Oh God, Nova, they're playing the music. They're playing the music. And thank you for coming. Thank you so much.
And another thing.
And thank you so much. No, they're playing the music, Nova. Get off the stage. That's courtesy of someone in the comments said we should do that. Did you see that comment? And it was like, you should start playing the music. Like it's the end of a speech. So thank you to whoever that was for that bit. If you'd like to see extra exclusive crap from us.
Not ratty likely.
Including, okay, we've got the pointless raw footage. That's new on there. My podcast. There's extended vlogs from like Brighton.
Yeah.
And where else did we go? Spain. All the rest. All of that good shit. Then why not check out our Patreon, the address for which will be arriving on screen just now.
What you gonna do with all that ash?
Oh, look at her hair.
I don't think that we need it to be like you're trying to make me jump every time. You could just like suddenly go into like a... Some of the guys on Patreon get birthday shout-outs now, including...
But not limited to.
For February 18th, happy birthday to Jamie.
87% of women suffer from digestive issues like occasional irregularity. Now the good news, I just discovered...
Happy birthday, Jamie. My lashes like sticking to each other.
The lashes are so long.
Lashes that could reach for the stars.
For February 21st, happy birthday to David.
Happy birthday, David.
David.
Oh, yes. For February 22nd, happy birthday to Zach Van Beek.
We'll be friends forever.
And then on the 24th, happy birthday to Daniel.
Happy birthday, Daniel.
Oh, Danny boy.
And happy birthday to Philip.
Happy birthday, Philip.
Philip's 90 Care 1.
Oh, that's where we're going to leave you. For now, we also have a Twitch. You can come and hang out for Twitch night, for playing games, having fun, hanging out.
Oh, we've gone back to the old one, have we? Because you can't remember the new one.
We're going to go down to Twitch and play some games. I wonder how like high you could keep it going for.
Oh,
do you remember the bleep test? Wasn't that like a bleep?
Oh, yeah.
That
Like
kept
the
getting
older
higher.
you were, and then you couldn't hear it anymore.
No, that one where you'd run back and forth.
Oh, what?
My school did this thing where you'd press bleep. They'd press a bleep. And that meant you had to run from one side of the gymnasium to the other. And you had to get to the other side before the next bleep. And every time you did it, the bleeps got shorter. The distance of time the bleep would play. So it was like stamina running.
Like a whippet.
I mean, I didn't perform like a whippet. Maybe this wasn't at school. Maybe this was like in my parents' backyard.
I was just trying to get you to like lose weight.
We can't leave the video there. We can't. No, don't play the music. Oh, they're playing the music. And a Barbara Streisand to our brand new patrons, Joey Camacho, Adam, Severed Mink, Sam 7L, Java Sames, Kelly Katz, Holly, Maddie, John Trainer and Daniel Matthews. Can you imagine if I'd really... No, that was the thing, the bleep test.
Well, what was it testing?
Fatness.
Join the Patron, we'll do a shot of Patron.